Hi there. We're now going to talk about writing one-step equations. In another video, we talked about defining our variable, which was choosing a variable and saying what it meant, making sure you're being very specific. So now we're going to take it a step further and actually write that equation. So some key things to remember is that you should look for other numbers in the problem that might need to be included. However, you do have to be careful because sometimes they throw extra information at you. You should also make sure that your variable is not alone on one side of your equation. A lot of you are guilty of that still. You'll start your equation with x equals something, okay, and you don't want to do that. And finally, a good thing to check for is a total or a difference. They're not always going to be there, but if you have a total or a difference, that's usually going to go by itself on one side of your equal sign. So the first question says you spend $12.75 at the movie theater. You purchase a ticket and a container of popcorn for $4.25. How much does the movie ticket cost? First, you need to define your variable. The question says, how much does the movie ticket cost? So I'm going to say C equals cost of a movie ticket. From there, I like to write in words what's going on in our question. So I see that we have $12.75 at the movie theater. And I want to do that in a different color. So I will do that, $12.75. You also purchase a ticket and a container of popcorn for $4.25. So I have a total. Okay, so I'm going to say, let's put that on one side. And that total is going to come from the ticket and the cost of the popcorn. Okay, so that's a good verbal model of what's going on in this question. The cost of the ticket plus the cost of the popcorn is going to be your total. So now that we've identified that information, go ahead and try to write your equation. Well, the ticket cost is what we don't know, so that's going to be our C. The popcorn costs $4.25, and the total cost was $12.75. So our equation is C plus $4.25 equals $12.75. From there, we're going to show our steps to solve. So we need to do the inverse operation and subtract $4.25 from both sides. Okay, that adds to 0, and we get C equals $8.50. Now, because this is a word problem, we do want to make sure we give an appropriate final answer, meaning we need to have labels. So that was the cost of a movie ticket. So our final answer is going to be $8.50. Number 2, during the last basketball season, Tanisha played in 16 games and averaged 18 points per game. How many points did she score last season? So step 1 is to define your variable. The question says, how many points did she score last season? So I'm going to say P is points Tanisha scored last season. Now we are going to write a verbal model based on this question. So first, I have other information in here. It says she played in 16 games and averaged 18 points per game. I'm thinking those will also be pretty important. Okay. So in terms of a verbal model, this one's a little bit different because we don't have a total, but the way average works, if you take the total, I guess we do have a total. For an average, if you take a total amount and divide, in this case, by the number of games, okay, that's how you figure out an average. The total points divided by the number of games gives you the average. So now based on that, write your equation. We don't know the total amount of points she scored last season. That's what we're trying to find. So that's going to be our P. The number of games was 16, and the average was 18. And now we have our equation. Now we can do inverse operations and multiply both sides by 16. And 16 on top with the 16 on the bottom, that reduces to 1. I'm totally using my calculator right now because P equals 288. Okay, and this was number of points she scored. So Tanisha scored 288 points. The advertised price of a video game system is $100 after a $40 mail-in rebate. What is the price of the video game system before the rebate is applied? Okay, so a rebate is kind of like a coupon, but it doesn't come off right away. That's why it's a mail-in rebate. So you pay the full price, you mail in the rebate, and they kind of send you your money back. But you just need to know that a rebate is decreasing the cost of your item that you're purchasing. So first, we need to define our variable. The question asks, what is the price of the video game system before the rebate is applied? So I'm going to say P equals price of video game system. Now I want to be more specific and say before the rebate. Okay. This time around, I want you to try to write your equation before I do the verbal model. Okay, we have the video game system is $100 after a $40 mail-in rebate. Okay, so what's going to happen here is we're going to take that original price. We are going to subtract that rebate, and then that's going to give you your final price. So now in terms of the pieces in this equation, the original price is what we don't know. That would be P, which is the price of the video game system before the rebate. We're going to subtract the rebate, which is 40, and the final price was $100. And now we can use inverse operations. We add 40 to both sides, and P equals 140. And since it was price, our final answer should be $140. Okay, last one. One type of thermal ice drill can drill through ice at a rate of 15 feet per minute by using heat to melt the ice. Find the time it takes the drill to melt through a sheet of ice 75 feet thick. Okay, so first off, define your variable. Okay, it says find the time it takes the drill to melt through a sheet of ice 75 feet thick. So I'm going to say T equals time. I'm going to even be more specific and say in minutes. It takes the drill to melt the ice. Okay. Now we need to write our equation. So go ahead and try that. Okay, the other pieces of the equation says it's going at a rate of 15 feet per minute. Okay, and then it's 75 feet thick. So for this one, if I take how many feet it does per minute, and I multiply it by the number of minutes, that's going to tell me how many total feet it melted through. So that means it's going to be the feet per minute is 15 feet per minute. We don't know the number of minutes, that's our T, and it's trying to drill through 75 feet. And now we divide both sides by 15, okay, because it was a multiplication equation. That gives us 1, and T equals 5. So final answer for this one should be 5 minutes.